Live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The one, the only, the Unexpected Thrill of a Lifetime podcast. I'm your host, Dan Fisher. Whoa, episode 25. We're back once again. The boys are back in town. We're back after our summer hiatus. We took a little break during August to get some shit done. We've launched a slew of videos to the YouTube channel. We've celebrated Shelly's birthday and went to the Hella Mega Tour. Got some work done and in the books. That's right. It's the most amazing show of all time. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. You can't, or can you? We've got a great show. We've got FFN News, Views of a Driver, The Pizza Tour. The Pizza Tour gets groovy this week. The movie of the week, the album of the week. We're gonna talk about new videos, little self-promotion. And we're going to talk a little bit about one of my books, the first chapter, or the first act of Fringe in Low Places. And we are coming to you live today. We are at the official Evil Carousel Carnival. There's a lot of... Excuse me, folks. Excuse me. There's a lot of people here. It's getting a little sloppy. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to speak to you in this capacity. Here behind me, we have all of the fair rides. The Evil Carousel itself is right in the center. We have a dart throwing game. All right, you know what? This is getting a little loud. I'm going to try and walk away from the crowds a little bit here. We're still going to hear some of that stuff in the background, but hey, I know what you come to this show for. You come here to go, what the fuck? You come here to laugh. You come here to hear some silly songs and some silly jokes. But you've come to the right place for that. And if it's your first time listening, you will find out that this show is based on segments and silly puns and silly jokes, and not all of it is, exactly what the doctor ordered, but come on now. This is the show that you've been waiting for. We've been taking a hiatus of about 15 to 20 days, not sure exactly, but it's episode 25. And if you're 25 today, you can rent a car, you can do a lot of different things. I'm not going to go on a rant about that. But it's beautiful to have you all here today. Lovely, lovely people. We're going to start with talking about a little bit of Philly news, and then I'm going to tell you about my new videos that I got going out. So, without further ado, we're gonna keep the show moving along, and taking a look around here, this carnival is a little more than I bargained for here. The Evil Carnival, as it were, is very busy, and it's to be honest, a little stressful, and that's pretty much where we're at. All right, but anyway, let's take a look at Philly news today. Not too much to speak of. There's new bus lanes on JFK and Market Street. New apartment buildings are going to be springing up at the intersections of Arch and Kelly, Broad and Washington, and the Navy Pier. That sounds pretty cool to me, actually. I think the Navy Pier is one of the coolest places in the town. What am I talking about? In the city of Philadelphia. Many ships, the likes of which you've never even seen before. We're going to take it to the next edition of The Pizza Tour. That's our intern, Billy from the WWF. I just have him just for those announcements. Yes, you do. Thank you for calling on me. All right, that's about all I can take of that. The pizza tour. Now this is another one that's close by me in University City. It's on Spruce and let's just say 45th. It's a good spot. I never went there before. They got Allegro's Pizza. They got a solid slice. And this is the kind of pizzeria where you don't just go in and you don't have to order one big pizza every time. You can go in and you can choose a slice. They got buffalo chicken. They got barbecue chicken. They got, others. I had the slice with pepperoni because why not? Why would I get anything else? I mean, I guess cheese maybe is the one that I guess everybody's going to be talking about. And lastly, we don't talk about video games all the time on this show, but there is one that's coming out soon that I'm excited about, and I'm going to be playing. And you can actually join us on Xbox Live and follow the gamer tag Evil Carousel. And, you can find me on Halo and... sometimes some Call of Duty and some other stuff. But either way, check out Halo Infinite. They threw out the numbers and they just went right for just Infinite, which I think was a good move. Because it's to me it's just moving on and to the future. That song we just heard, by the way, was called Keeping It Moving. And, just to be honest with you, that's how we keep the show moving. Right after the intro, you're gearing up for some new content, and you're going, Dan, what do you got next for me today? Well, we are about to enter another edition of FFN News. But before we do, we have to read our sponsors. Now, let's get into the news. But first, today's edition of FFN News is brought to you by Clams Chowder. Now, many of you are thinking, clam chowder? Why would the show be brought to you by, or brought to me by, clam chowder? Well, this is Clams Chowder. This isn't no ordinary chowder with clams. This is a chowder made by clams. This is the first clam chowder created, cooked, manufactured by clams. They filter the water, they peel the potatoes, they crack the pepper, and they are clams themselves. They have strong little arms, if you will. But anyway, we're all in support of supporting animals and great causes. So check it out. And that's pretty exciting. But now, without further ado, with all of the news being called fake today, it's time for the real fake news. Ladies and gentlemen, this is FFN News. Yes, very nice. Thank you. And as always, we are doing this in front of a live studio audience. And please keep your hands to yourself, people. It's time for FFN News. FFN News pillows. Mike Lindell was caught saying, I'm a Trump supporter, but I do agree with the censorship of Potato Head. Too much airtime on Fox News. Yeah, that's right. After being shunned from Fox News, Mike Lindell is again starting to run new commercials on the network, but he feels that certain elements of cancel culture, i.e. Dr. Seuss and all of those things, are getting too much airtime that is rightfully his. FFN News Trump. Former President Trump brags that more books have been written about him than any other president. And he's suing his niece, Mary Trump, to stop hogging the spotlight. From a statement from President Trump, the 45th twice impeached ex-president, he said, I'll tell you, folks, no president has had more books written about the ups and downs of our administration. We did a lot of great, really big, and really important things, the likes of which you don't see with Sleepy Joe Biden. Anyway, time to move the show along now. A lot of you have been hearing stories in the press about Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all these other different, digital coins. FFN News is launching their first online currency in our finance department called Coinbit. Now you will be able to buy coin bits, which are comparable to high points from the high network and your bitcoins and whatever. But our finance department is proud of it, and we are going to be moving forward. So get your coin bits, transfer all of your money, all of your assets, all of it over to this, because there are no guarantees that this is going to crash, and there are no guarantees that this isn't going to make you insanely rich. FFN News France. France cries over lost sub-deal with Australia. Unfortunately, no one heard their cries because the complainers were mimes. This is FFN News Today. Chihuahua News. This week we have more Chihuahua news because we want you to know that the Chihuahua takeover is imminent as usual, but it doesn't have to be so dark and terrifying as we once thought it was. This week we found a Chihuahua on YouTube. I'm not sure what his name is, but he must be the heaviest Chihuahua of all time. He was 21 pounds, and let's be honest, he looked more like a penguin than a dog. So check that out, 21-pound Chihuahua on YouTube. And lastly, we haven't talked lately we haven't checked in with our friend Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is the chairman of the Budget Committee. And, he's getting a little bit fed up with these talks of the infrastructure project going up and down and everything like that. So here is Bernie Sanders to comment on the ups and downs and of his colleagues like Senator Joe Manchin. Bernie? I just want to make one thing clear. I am sick and tired of talking about Kristen Sinema, Miss Sinema, and Joe Manchin. Let's be honest, I live in a rural state, but no one should be listening to what people from West Virginia have to say. We will come up with a budget, and we will put the plan out for the American people. All right, great. Thank you very much. And lastly, I've told you this several times, in 2022, I am fighting to take the House seat of Pat Toomey. He is going to be retiring, and there is the likes of John Fetterman and others who I'm going to be going up against. But I have a new campaign promise for you today, and that is, I've been on the streets, I've been talking to my constituents, and we have a problem with huskies. Huskies are aggressive animals. They're starting to lash out and be angry. So my promise to you is we are going to round up all of the huskies. We are going to take them straight to the airport, and they are going back to Alaska where they came from. And we are going to be conducting a very strict border around Alaska to protect ourselves from the likes of Canada and the Canadian Shield. Well, that's all we have for you today on FFN News. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Dan Fisher. We're going to be checking back with our reporter on the scene, Dan Fisher, at the Evil Carnival. That's right. Thank you for having me. I'm here. I keep getting bumped on the head by various animals and tourists. It's getting a little crazy out here, and what I really need to do is take some shelter It's starting to rain now. I'm not liking this. It's getting okay, and that's all we have time for with our reporter on the scene. Let's cut away, please. Cut away from that. Let's get away from that music, please. Get us away. And now, without further ado, you know what it is. It's the beef. Well, I'm sorry there is no Monday morning meditation today. I wasn't even going to say anything, but today's Tuesday, and the show's out on Tuesday. It's usually Monday, but you know what? We got to keep you guys guessing because, frankly, you guys are getting a little bit lazy with your creativity. When it comes to listening to this show, the listeners aren't being very creative. I'm just going to put that out there. But we have much more to talk about. This week on Views of a Driver, I could go into a few more personal stories, but I'm not going to. This is one that happened to me a week or two ago. A man by the name of Mr. Wiggins. It's not a joke. Now occasionally I have to take people to New Hope, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour away from the Philadelphia airport. Also, I'm waiting there in line, and I'm sitting in my car, and I'm waiting for my passenger that's supposed to be there at 6 o'clock. And I'm waiting, and it didn't say his last name in the app. I think it said Charles or something. But I'm waiting, and then I get a little insight timer, and it says, "Oh, you're a little early than expected. Please wait," or whatever. There's nobody coming out of the terminal. I don't know what's happening. And next thing I see this man being pushed out in a wheelchair by an employee of the airport. And I see this guy come in, and you've heard this show. Oh, sorry about that bump. That was a technical difficulty. Not going to acknowledge anything more. But Views of a Driver is a segment of the show where I write down rides that have happened to me, or package deliveries for an Amazon, or even pizza deliveries from back in the day. But, I'm compiling all of this into a book that I'm going to use in the future called Views of a Driver. So I'm waiting there for Mr. Wiggins, and this is a story that I was flabbergasted about. I'm driving, and I'm driving this guy. The wheelchair comes out, and the man gets out of the wheelchair, and he and the airport attendant start going car to car to ask, "Are you here or are you an Uber driver waiting for your passenger?" I say, "Yes." "Who is that man in the chair?" And the attendant didn't know. So I said again, "Who's that in the chair?" Turned out it was Mr. Wiggins. This guy gets in the car. We're zooming up 95 north, and he says to me, this guy had the nerve to say to me, "So, do you know where we're going?" And I said, "No, I've just been guessing this whole time." Thankfully, he knew it was a joke. But after that, I soon learned that he may have been suffering from early dementia, because he expressed to me that on his flight from Phoenix, not only did he lose his phone, but he also lost his wallet. And so all he had on him was a credit card, and he set up this Uber ride far in advance. And thankfully, as he was looking for all of his items, he remembered that he was supposed to be at the Uber at 6 o'clock, and that's the part that went well. So I'm driving him home for an hour, and he's talking my ear off. He's going, "So, yeah, I don't know where I could have left my phone," and blah, and he's just going on and on and on. It was a disaster. So I'm almost the way home, and he's like, "Hey, do you want me to guide you from here?" And I said, "Well, I mean, if you want to, or I can give it a shot. You can let me know how I'm doing." Long story short, I went the exact way that he wanted. He didn't even have to say anything. But when we got to his house, I help him out of the car. I get his bag for him. I said, "Do you have your keys?" He goes, "Oh, shoot." He starts digging around in his bag. Here he lost his keys also. So now he's starting to panic and get a little upset. And I said, "Well, do you have a spare?" And he looks around and he goes, Oh, yeah. So he heads into the garage, which was completely wide open, by the way. He goes in, he's digging around through drawers. I said, "Do you need a hand?" And he said, "Yeah, that would be good." So I go in, I'm digging around through drawers. Finally, we find the key, and he was very grateful. He was like, "Oh, Uber goes above and beyond." I thought, no, they don't. I do. But that's a tale for another day. I just felt bad because at one point I thought about maybe leaving him, but can you imagine? There's nobody around. This guy doesn't have his wallet, his keys, or his phone stuck outside his house. I mean, that's the worst thing, like, ever. Well, anyway, I don't want to dwell on that too much. I rarely talk about books on this show. I just wanted to mention that a popular read that I've been seeing on a lot of different places is the book called *Sapiens*. It's incredible. It's there's this one part about where he talks about wheat and how it's the most successful plant of all time because it takes up maybe about, I forget what it was, the percentage, maybe 30% of the land of the earth. I don't know what the percentage is. But wheat was never grown in large quantities before man first picked it up. But wheat domesticated us because we had to go from hunter-gatherers who would be sort of nomadic in a way to having permanent houses where we could, farm large amounts of wheat. And the more wheat you grow, the more people you have, because you can feed them. The more people you have, the more wheat you need to grow to feed those people. So it's just an ever-ending cycle, and I just thought that was fascinating. Check out that book. I've been hyping up the Max Sabbath show. The Max Sabbath show didn't happen. They had to cancel it due to the coronavirus and everything. It got pushed off for another year. Really sad about it. But in honor of Max Sabbath and other great bands like AC/DC and The Doors, to name a few, Jimmy Page used one, Eric Clapton, I went guitar shopping and I found the perfect guitar that I'm going to buy as my next purchase. It's an Epiphone SG in red and black. It's hot. It's hot. It's ready to rock. And hopefully I'll be able to get that soon and send that out there. But we will see. All right, the movie of the week this week, I'm just going to change gears here music-wise. We're going to change... Oh, I already said that. Gears music-wise. But we're gonna talk now about the movie of the week. Now, you don't always hear me talking about horror movies or spookers, as some call them. But I saw a movie in the theater recently. Maleficent was a good one. Now, it's made by the same people that created The Conjuring, and it was very surprising. It was scarier. I think I liked it better. It really kept you guessing, and I'm not going to give any spoilers away because it's still pretty fresh and new and out there, but I definitely suggest taking a look at that. It's a good one. It really kept me guessing, and I can't give away too much without giving it away, but it is just new things have been done. Let's just say that. October is the time for scary movies. I'm not the only time, but I was surprised this didn't come out around October because it definitely spooked me a bit. But I'm going to give a don't see this Halloween season. The movie The Wailing is a Korean film. It was very gory, very kind of scary. It was hard to follow what was happening and all that. So my only advice is maybe steer clear of that one. There are other things to watch. There are a lot of great classic horror movies that you could watch, like The Ring and The Grudge and The Blair Witch Project, if you haven't seen it. But, I think the crowd likes that one. I think the crowd likes it a lot. Well, the last thing I'm going to talk about this week is, every week as well as a movie, I also like to, give a little bit of a music review, and I like to do it. I like to do it on something new that I've never heard before. When I can, I can't always do that, but this week I have found. We're just gonna kick this music on because why not? Now, many of you know the Foo Fighters. You know, I'm not the biggest Foo Fighters fan ever. I do respect them for being resurrected members of Nirvana after the tragic Forever 27 death of their lead singer, Kurt Cobain. But now we have Dave Grohl, you know, as usual, taking the helm, taking the spotlight and the gauntlet and whatever other word you want to use, and they have transformed themselves into their alter ego, the DGs, sort of like the Bee Gees, but with a D, for those who are hard of hearing. And I say it is album of the week, their album Hail Satan. Or no, it's not Satan, Hail Satin. Sorry, Hail Satin. They don't get any ideas there. But they do classic renditions of awesome Bee Gees songs like "You Should Be Dancing." It sounds great. It's a little more guitar driven. It has a little bit more of a punch and an edge. And I feel like Dave Grohl, you know, this isn't his. You know, I wouldn't have pegged this as to be his realm and his rate of which he's going to go, but I think he handled it very well, and the vocals are pretty convincing. So, you know, with that, I think there are definitely things to be talked about there. So check it out. It came out a few weeks ago. I strongly recommend it. It's even good on a run or a walk because it's nice. You know, disco music. I don't think just like ska and reggae. I think it's going to play a bigger role moving forward from a longer pulled back view. But last thing I want to do is a little bit of self-promotion. You know, we have a lot of videos on the YouTube channel now, probably about 30 of them. We have Drake's video where he pushes us on the carousel, the evil carousel. That's up to 5.6 thousand views. That is currently the highest viewed video on our page, and I'm very proud of that. We have the Tim Heidecker Does Coke Before Office Hours video, which just broke 3,000 views. You know, we post a lot of videos about beaches that I like Myrtle Beach, and the newest one was Avalon, New Jersey. We have our classic deodorant tutorial video where I show you how to put on deodorant while wearing a shirt and a backpack. Because, you know, a lot of times you're ready to leave the house and you're like, wait a minute, I got my shirt on, but I didn't put deodorant on yet. Or I got my retainer in and I didn't brush my teeth. No. Or, you know, maybe I put my shirt and my backpack on. I have to put on deodorant immediately. I'm going to show you a tutorial that'll make your life easier and that, you know, you'll ultimately, hopefully, have a lot of fun viewing. I had a lot of fun making it, and it was a little bit ridiculous. You may or may not have seen the great, the powerful, and legendary Quentin Tarantino interview. Part 2 of that is up now, so check that out for a good laugh. And don't expect a penny from that guy because you know, if you burned him, you know, it's curtains for you. That's all I have to say. We're gonna dip in at the evil carnival one more time so you can hear the sights and sounds. It seems like some people over there just won a big prize and the Ferris wheel is now taking off. Lastly, the last video that I want to point out to you, please check it out. There's a new one that I just posted last night about a German castle burning down tragically in the fire pit out back. You know, just suspend disbelief or reality just a little bit. Just pretend that it's the real castle, and I think you'll be very impressed. We have a lot more videos on the way. Like I said, I keep teasing the first quarter or the first act of Fringe and Low Places, but I think next week I'll do a reading of that to kind of get you up to speed, and I'll do a little bit of voice acting for you, some of the characters, so you can see what that's going to be about, and see if it's something that you would like to read. it could also be a movie one day. I'm not limiting myself there, but anyway, we just hit the 30-minute mark. You know, I don't like to go too long because this show could be boring if I'm not saying anything that interests you at all. So, with that, we're going to sing the end of the show song. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're up to 25 followers on YouTube now. I appreciate it. Follow us at Evil Carousel on Instagram, YouTube, Xbox Live. Twitter is coming soon. We have all of those things. So join with me now. This is the end of the show now. The show now. Thank you very much.